We did plan to have the gorgeous Miguel Mastre, Spanish chef, on today, but he can't make it into the studio because of the Chilean volcano ash in the air. So I got a phone call very late last night from Jen Len, who organises all this stuff. She said, what do we do? And I said, Yumi and I have fallen in love with this book. It is called Monday Morning Cooking Club. We both adore it, so we're going to cook something from it together.
Yay! No, we do see a lot of cookbooks in this line of work.
We do.
And this is easily my favourite for 2011 because every recipe is inspiring.
And also, it's just a great story. For the last 5 years or so, a group of Jewish women in Sydney have been meeting every Monday morning and cooking together. And that's all about the sisterhood, and we're all for that. So we're going to be making a cinnamon and apple pie. We've each made this separately at home.
I've had this cookbook for 2 weeks. I've made the one cake 4 times.
You are awesome.
That's how good it is. I just have to do that. Now, the main ingredient is apples.
It is, and you need 8. Even though you think, gosh, that's so many apples, go and get them and you won't be sorry.
I made it yesterday, though, with pears.
You did indeed.
Yeah, 4 ripe, lovely pears.
What are you doing there, Stein?
Oh, it's just a bit... There's a funny odour coming from those eggs, so I'm just going to start it again, if that's all right.
We did realise this earlier, but we were going to pretend that that wasn't happening. But we're going to be honest with you, there's a rotten egg in there.
Yeah, so we don't want to make it with rotten egg.
There's a rotten egg and we don't want to waste the produce.
No.
So basically what you do is you get 3 eggs and you see if they're good and if they are,
you chuck them in there.
Which is what we will do. Yeah, but I want to test them first.
Oh, I don't reckon we've got time. So let's just chuck them in.
All right. You get 3 of these.
Yep. And a bit of vanilla.
A little bit of vanilla, which I've whacked in. Lots of sugar.
About a cup of sugar. And then you whiz it up.
You whiz it up.
And while you're doing that, you finally slice either apples or pears, which I am going to do right here like this.
I did mine with a knife because I'm really scared of those things.
Yeah, I'm quite scared too.
So I did mine with a knife, which works just as well.
Yeah.
Once that's mixed, you get some oil. It's a cup and a half, and it looks like a lot. The recipe calls for an olive oil, which is sort of fruity.
Yep.
And we're not used to using olive oil in cooking.
In a sweet dish.
But just be sure you get one that's not that really full flavour olive oil. You just need the really light flavour olive oil.
Now, here's the thing, Chrissy.
Yep.
Because I've cooked this a few times.
Yeah.
I tried it yesterday with canola oil.
Yes. No good.
They're right to use olive oil.
They're right. They know things.
They know.
The Monday Morning Cooking Club know things.
Incidentally, that cooking cookbook, if you are interested, the proceeds go to charity. So
so you can't go wrong. It's gorgeous, and it's got delicious things in there that you just don't see anymore, like brisket and also there's, you know, when you go to a continental bakery and it's got those little almond crescents dusted in icing sugar, and you just go, I love those. There's a recipe for those in there, which I have made. I'm going to be making later on in the show as well.
So I've just added the plain flour, which you need to
I'm going to fold in.
While you're doing that, I'm going to sprinkle so this is just finely sliced apple, and I'm going to sprinkle it with cinnamon sugar.
Yep.
And then you just pour the batter over and stick it in the oven, and that is it.
And that's it. And you just can't believe it. I had text messages from my sister saying, I can't stop thinking about that apple pie that you made from that book.
So yummy!
So exciting.
Is it too early to pour it on?
No,
I just want to show people at home to put the cinnamon sugar on top as well.
And even though you think, oh no, there's too much apple, there's not. Do it.
It flattens down.
It flattens down into this sort of syrupy, sticky layer.
So I made one of these for Dee Dee's birthday, and then the following day, which was yesterday, I made one for my mum's birthday.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And do you have are you a cream or a ice cream girl?
I'm a neither, and you know how I'm funny about fattening food?
Yeah.
I put a third less oil in and it still turns out okay. So.
I've done that too and it still works out good, but then I go, no, let's not disrespect these Jewish women that have been doing this every Monday morning.
They've been testing these recipes over and
also
over.
It's quite an old-fashioned recipe. It reminds me of like when you went to the Coles cafeteria with your grandma. So I really recommend straight whipped cream.
Right. Hey, speaking of Jewish women, Mazel Tov.
Yeah.
They're going to come in and do some recipes from the book at some future date, but because Miguel had to cancel at the last minute.
And we just so desperately wanted to share this pie with you because it's going to change your life. You might just think it's a pie. It's a life-changing pie. Your life just changed.
We'll be back to Playing in the Kitchen later, and we're going to pull that baby out of the oven and we're going to eat it with our fists. Now here's Marianne.
Welcome back to the circle. I was just adjusting my singlet. Now, Miguel Mastre was supposed to cook with us today,
Yep.
the amazing Spanish chef, but he couldn't make it in because the airports are blocked or whatever with volcanic ash. But he is watching, so... Hola, Miguel!
What's happening? Oh, you look so great today.
Thank you. We have taken over this segment, Miguel, and this is our favourite book at the moment. You mean I absolutely love it, the Monday Morning Cooking Club. And we've previously made an apple and cinnamon pie, and this one is my favourite. You haven't made this yet, but I've texted you photographs of these biscuits. You know when you're in gorgeous bakeries, continental bakeries, I think the Greeks do them too. This is a Jewish one. They're those little crescents of almond biscuit dusted in icing sugar.
Lots of icing sugar.
They're so tasty. I'm making them here for you today, and it's so easy. Butter.
Yep.
250 grams, so a whole thing.
A whole thing?
Yeah. It's not ideal. Then you whack that in. That's some cinnamon, vanilla sugar.
Yum.
But you can buy it in a packet as is, or
Make it.
make it yourself.
Bit of flour.
Bit of flour, all in a food processor, so easy.
Plain flour.
Plain flour.
Yep.
Now, the almondy part of it is, you think it might be almond meal when you're trying to dissect them when you're eating them in the shop, but it's not. It's whole almonds and with the skins on, and you whack that in here first.
Yep.
Before you do that.
Okay.
And you whoosh it around and you end up with this. So it's really kind of whole grain. It's really eco. Yeah.
It looks like sand.
Yeah. So you whack that in there.
Yeah.
Mix it all up.
So there's not much sugar in that.
No, they're not sweet.
So the sugar's mostly in the dusting.
The sugar's in the dusting. That's it, sister. So you just do that until it's well mixed.
And then at what point do you add the almond?
I like to just fold it through at the end. You can, you may as well whack it all in, why not?
Should we try? And there's no egg or anything?
There's no egg. It's that easy. Those beautiful biscuits that you've coveted for years in those fancy bakeries, and they're not cheap either, let me tell you. And these last forever, and they're delicious at about 2 o'clock in the morning, where you're like snooping around your own kitchen, and you know, you've done there. You've been there. You've done it. All right. So I would normally use a bowl.
Yeah.
We don't have one.
Yeah.
So you just whack this out.
Oh, Chrissy Swan.
I know, and it's like buttery, and even the mixture is beautiful.
I have to
and
eat
if you say you never eat mixture, you're a liar. You are a liar, because who can say no to a little bit of cake batter or a little bit of cookie dough? No one can. No one. I defy you. Or maybe Carrie Underwood could, because she's a vegan.
All right, so what's the secret to the...
Now, the secret is you grab a little bit and you roll it into, the cookbook says, a thumb-shaped piece.
I love it.
Okay, so it's really sort of tactile and sensual. And then you slowly make it into a little crescent and you whack it on a tray. I bet yours is better. Yeah, yours. Hey,
Mine's a boomerang.
Yours is a boomerang.
Jewish, Australian, Aboriginal.
Look at that. So... There's a minority. All right, now what you do, you whack it in here, in the oven, that is, 160 degrees, or a little bit less. I don't want to diss the book, but it seems to be a bit hot.
Yeah, I made the chiffon cake and I had to take half an hour off the cooking time.
Right, OK, so just watch it. I'd say about 140.
Yep.
And then this is what happens.
Stop it. Let me see. You've got some pre-done.
You're not going to believe it.
I'm super...
Look. Can you see them? Where are they? Then you just dip them in there.
They have a lot at the Greek bakery.
Not that much.
Oh, really?
Not that much.
Sorry, I wasn't being silly.
What I do, this is the final tip, is I wait for them to cool. Then I just lay them out on a tray. I mean, you keep them on that tray.
Yep.
And then you can slowly coat them. So you can sort of coat them in that, and you can see some of it is sticking to the butter that's coming.
Yum.
So delicious. And if you don't have that vanilla sugar, you can just use plain icing sugar.
Do you want me to show you what's in the bottom oven?
What's in the bottom oven?
I'm a bit excited about it.
Oh my God, is it the pie?
Yeah, it's the pie. Which is a bit more like a tea cake.
Get it out.
Check this out,
Look at it. made that.
We made it.
Oh, and you can open up the spring form. Look at that, and you can see the layer on the bottom of that treacly,
Delicious,
gooey
fruity
apple.
goodness.
Ah! We're going to be eating this for lunch. Highly nutritious lunch, all the food groups covered. At the end of the show, Fashion with Emily Power is coming up soon. But first, our favourite cookie, Pat Panetta. Here we are in front of this gorgeous food, which we've made out of our new favourite cookbook,
Yes.
Monday Morning Cooking Club.
And I just thought, since we don't have any savoury food,
Yeah.
I'd cover all food groups with some chicken.
Oh, excellent.
Chicken in a biscuit.
We please thank our favourite chicken in a biscuit, Colette Mann.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we have got a brilliant show for you. We're going to be catching up with Colin Lane, our old friend, as he prepares to start with Ready Steady Cook. Shane D'Elia is also going to be cooking for us. And we're going to find out your path to true happiness. Don't want to miss it. We'll see you for more on a Tuesday, 10 a.m. See ya.